Now we are going to listen an eminent haiku specialist, Ramesh Anand, by profession an engineer, and he has selected such a beautiful field. Writing haiku is not an easy thing. To write haiku, one needs to associate with the nature. One needs to tell certain philosophy, because haiku is born from the Zen poetry, which is called which is having some philosophical flavors. So writing haiku is one must become always mingle with the nature, and it's like a flash poetry. So he got that talent, and he was proved it. His poems are well recognized in the all over the globe, and I congratulate Ramesh Anand. I want to translate some of his, I selected some of his haikus to translate into Telugu. Particularly Sakshi Pudur Rajireddy Garu, he asked me to send some important world haikus actually he asked. But I selected Ramesh Anand poetry haikus. It's on par with the world haiku poets. And shortly I hope I can translate some of his haikus to Telugu. Now let us hear his journey and his association with literature.
Good evening, everyone. Thanks to Ramakrishna Perugu sir for giving this opportunity to talk about my journey in poetry, and thanks to Bhaskar Reddy Garu, and thanks to my wonderful poets here, Paddy and Reshma Ramesh. So I started to write poetry at the age of 30. There was a need for me to go inside me. So at the age of 30, I almost had everything. I had a 6-figure salary in abroad. I'm having a lovely wife. I got married. Then we got a child. Financially, I was well settled. So everything was there. But then there is something missing in me, right? So there was something in me saying that I should do something extra or something special. There is a talent in me. I was also doing yoga and meditation at that point, where at one particular moment I got realized that I should be a writer. So at that particular point of time, I was realized that I should be a writer. So slowly I started to write free verses. Then I got to read some of this haiku, and this haiku impressed me a lot, because day-to-day life there is so many extraordinary things which is happening, so many extraordinary moments happening around us which we miss out. So we go by the memory, we live by the memory, and we limit ourselves, and we end up living an ordinary life. So we cannot take anything out of this life. At the end of the life, we can only leave our name here, right? Tomorrow, after 100 years, we will know who is A.R. Rahman, who is Sachin Tendulkar, right? We will not know about the average people who have earned a lot of money or a lot of wealth or whatever is there. So we can leave only the name here. So that is the ultimate thing we can do. We cannot take anything from here. So that's how I started to write poetry, because I want to be known. I want an identity. So that's how I came to poetry, and this haiku particularly impressed me because it aligns with nature. If you have to observe nature, you have to be in present moment. That is all haiku is about. Haiku is human presence in nature. So if you have to live in present moment, you will have special blissfulness, and your face will show that. Morning the bird is very light. In the evening also it is very light. It doesn't carry any burden. But from morning to evening, our faces totally changes. Our heart becomes weak, right? Our heart becomes heavy. We go to school, we go to colleges, we get triple PhD, double PhD, but nobody tells us how to keep the heart clean and soft. The only way the heart can be kept clean and soft is by art. So heart can be kept clean and soft only by art, A-R-T. So now I will talk about my actual journey. I started to write poetry in 2010. 2011 June, I started my entry into haiku. So far, my haiku has been published in 16 countries, translated to 8 foreign languages, and I have been widely published in several anthologies, award-winning anthologies, print journals, e-journals, Japanese newspapers, and some of those translations are by French, German, Croatian, Serbian, Chinese, Japanese, and Romanian, etc. So in July 2015, Cornell University from New York, they published my haiku, 31 haiku for each day on the entire July. So they selected some of the best haiku and published in Cornell University. And I won 3 awards, international awards in this year only. So I would like to read some of my haiku from that. Autumn wind, mother rebraids her unreal hair. Autumn wind, mother rebraids her unreal hair. So you'll be able to associate the unreal hair and the autumn wind here. So autumn is a the fallen season, falling leaf season, and mother is an elderly person. So mother and the autumn relates, and mother is not having a real hair, unreal hair, but she is very possessive about her hair, that she is trying to keep her hair clean, right, neatly braided. But this autumn wind is a nature which is trying to expose her behavior. So this is haiku. So this haiku won me an Manichi Daily Haiku Contest in 2015. So out of 1,600 entries, I won this haiku, won the entry. And haiku can be also written in one line. So haiku can be 2 words, 1 line, 1 word. It can be of any number of lines from 1 to 4. But the most important part of haiku is the cut. So you can see the cut in the previous haiku between the autumn wind and the mother rebraids an unreal hair. So that's how the nature and the human behavior connects here. And there is a cut between the second and third line. Mother rebraids an unreal hair. So unreal is a total surprising element here. So another 1-line haiku. In and out of a shell, autumn light. In and out of a shell, autumn light. So this haiku won me an Irish International Haiku Contest in 2015. So you can clearly see here, in and out of a shell. Usually you will imagine any kind of the sea insects to come out, right? Sea worms or anything. But in this case, it is the autumn light that goes in and goes out of the shell. And another haiku that won me an European Haiku Prize this year. Spring sunset, the breath of a fawn ripples the pond. Spring sunset, the breath of a fawn ripples the pond. So this particular haiku is very close to my heart, because when this was happening, I was there. So I went to this Tadoba forest. Tadoba forest is in Nagpur. So I usually go to safari and the bird sanctuaries and observe them, spend 2 or 3 days with them, observe their behavior. So this event happened when I was there in the safari. A fawn came to the pond, and then before it drank the water, there was a ripple on the pond. And this fawn was born in spring, and it was a spring sunset. So it is also spring sunset means the evening, and also it's the sunset of spring for the fawn from the time of delivery. Then another haiku that won me a Vladimir Divide Croatian Commendable Prize, Stargazing. The first knock in my moonlit womb. Stargazing, the first knock in my moonlit womb. So the mother is, to-be mother is gazing the star and enjoying the stars, while the moonlight actually falls on the womb, and the baby kicks the womb. So baby feels the moonlight. I also write Senryu and Tanka. So Senryu is, while Haiku is all about human in nature, the Senryu is nature in human. So we all talk with people, we all interact with different kind of people, and each people is different. So this Senryu came to me when I went to a dentist. So she was checking my tooth, right? And then okay, I'll read the scenario, then you will get the surprise element. Mouth open, the dentist checks for my payment mode. Mouth open, the dentist checks for my payment mode. Then this is from my child. So on one Friday, actually, I decided to work from home, right? So my child asked my wife, where is father? So my wife said, father is sleeping, decided to work from home. Then my child said something. This is a scenario here. Working from home, my child asked if she can study from home. Working from home, my child asked if she can study from home. And then there is a poetry, Japanese short form poetry called Tanka. So Tanka is equivalent to haiku, but it is written in 5 lines, and it gives scope for letting the emotions out. How much rain can a little cloud hold? The overspill of resentment are only identity. How much rain can a little cloud hold? The overspill of resentment are only identity. So you can see the difference. There is a juxtaposition between the nature and the human emotion. So there is a limit how much rain the cloud can hold. Similarly, there is also a limit for how much emotions we can hold inside. One day it will burst out. That is what represented as a tanka here. Then another tanka which I got while playing with my child. So it was evening. I was playing cricket with my with my child, and then on the terrace, the crows are vanishing at twilight. My child stretches the end of play. The crows are vanishing at twilight. My child stretches the end of play. So at twilight, at the third line, is the pivot. So the twilight is common for both the crow and also to the humans. But my child is more interested in extending the game than ending it. But the crows know, so they usually go for a roost when the time comes. So this is all I have for today. Thanks again for giving me this opportunity. It is wonderful, and Andhra is very close to me because almost at least twice a year I visit Andhra to recite my poetry. One or the other opportunity comes. So like Ramakrishna Perugu sir said, I've also gone to abroad. Wherever I go to abroad, I used to connect with, I get connect with the haiku poets there. It only brings visibility to India. My only aim is to bring more visibility to India and more laurel to India, and also keep my heart light and weight. At the end of the day, that is what more important to me than anything else. So when you also keep the heart light and weight, you can also feel that you are growing day by day. You don't have to force the growth in you. The growth automatically happens. The growth, when I talk about growth, the growth is of 5. Growth should happen for any person in 5 aspects. One is personal growth, another is family growth, another is financial growth. So another is expanding the awareness. You should know what is happening around and what is the news happening around. And the 5th one is the spiritual growth. So all these 5 growths are very important for the life to progress. So we cannot live on a single growth. If you focus on only the personal activity or the financial activity, when something happens, you will be gone. So the God has created us in a very beautiful way. So God has not given 6th sense to any of the other creations. God has given 6th sense only to us. We usually use only the 5 senses. We don't use the art. The moment we start to use the art, our life will become light, and we will be growing without our knowledge. Thanks again. Thank you.
Thank you, Ramesh. It's wonderful to know the haiku journey with you. తెలుగులో మనకి ఈ హైకూని గాలి నాజర్ రెడ్డి అనేటువంటి ఒక పాత్రికేయ మిత్రుడు మొట్టమొదటిసారి తెలుగులోకి తెచ్చాడు. ఇప్పుడు ఆయన మన జిల్లాలోనే వింజమూరులో తెలుగు లెక్చరర్గా వర్క్ చేస్తున్నాడు. హైకూని జపాన్ నుంచి ఫస్ట్ టైం తెలుగులోకి తెచ్చాక కాకినాడలో ఉండేటువంటి ఇస్మాయిల్ గారు అనే ఆయన దాన్ని బాగా పాపులర్ చేసి కప్పల శబ్దం అనే పేరుతో ఫస్ట్ హైకు కలెక్షన్ని పబ్లిష్ చేశారు. అండ్ తెలుగులో ఈ టంకా సెన్రియు ఇవన్నీ కూడా వీటి మీద మంచి ప్రయోగం చేసిన వాళ్ళు మనకందరికీ పరిచితమైనటువంటి వీరభద్రుడు గారు టంకా సెన్రియు మీద చాలా వర్క్ చేశాడు ఆయన తెలుగులో. అయితే విస్తృతంగా రాలేదు. తెలుగులో హైకు పుస్తకాలు కూడా చాలా తక్కువ వచ్చాయి. నావి దాదాపు 100 హైకూస్ దాకా పబ్లిష్ అయి ఉన్నాయి. పున్నమి రాత్రంతా నీటి కదలిక, పున్నమి చంద్రుడు బావిలో అనే నా హైకు చాలామందిని రంజింపజేసిన హైకు, చాలా భాషల్లోకి అనువాదమైన హైకు అది. వీరభద్రుడు గారు కూడా దాన్ని చాలాసార్లు మెన్షన్ చేస్తున్నారు. సో ఈ ఏడాది ఇట్లాంటి రమేష్ ఆనంద్ లాంటి వాళ్ళు వచ్చినప్పుడు మనం హైకు మీద ఒక పూర్తి వర్క్షాప్ లాంటిది కానీ చేయాలి యూనివర్సిటీలో. నెక్స్ట్ టైం ఐ ట్రై టు కాల్ యూ ఫర్ యూనివర్సిటీ టు డూ ఏ హైకు వర్క్షాప్. సో చాలా అవసరం ఈ ప్రక్రియ. ఇవాళ మనం పరిగెత్తే జీవితాల్లో ఉన్నాం. మనకు ఒక ఇన్స్టాంట్ పోయిటరీ లాంటిది, బాగా స్పార్కీగా అని చెప్పినట్టు హృదయ భారాన్ని తగ్గించుకునే దాంటిది హైకు వల్ల చాలా సాధ్యం అవుతుంది. అది తణుకులో బివివి ప్రసాద్ అని ఉన్నాడు, చాలా అద్భుతమైనటువంటి హైకు రాసిన వ్యక్తి. సో ఇది చాలా చాలా చిన్న ఫార్మాట్, బట్ యు నీడ్ లాట్ ఆఫ్ డెడికేషన్ టు రైట్ అండ్ ప్రజెంట్ హైకు పోయం. సో అలాగ ఉన్నాయి మంచి మంచి ప్రక్రియలు ఇవి మూడు కూడా, హైకు, సెన్రియు, టంకా అనేవి చాలా సింపుల్గా ఉంటాయి. వాళ్ళ ఎమోషన్స్ని ఎఫెక్టివ్గా చెప్పగడం ఎలాగా అనేది ఈ మూడు ప్రక్రియల్లో మనం చూడొచ్చు. సో ఇవన్నీ కూడా తెలుగు సాహిత్యంలో మరింత విస్తృతం కావాలని ఆశిస్తూ ఆకాంక్షిస్తూ ఎప్పట్లాగే ఈ ముగ్గురు కవిమిత్రులకి మన సన్నిధి పక్షాన సత్కారం చేసుకొని ఈ కార్యక్రమాన్ని ముగించుకుందాం.
तमेवं विद्वान् अमृतैः भवति नान्यः पन्थायनाय विद्यते.
అందరూ నిలబెడతారు.
Have this.